and gentlemen, I'm Josh Marquez. I'm here to give you a presentation speech on the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, better known as the FARC. Overall classification of this presentation is unclassified. Going into the introduction of what we're going to be going over in this presentation, just a brief overview on who FARC is, who they are, what they represent, where they're from, and weapon systems that they use, and significant events that have happened in the past decade or so. Going into the purpose and central ideas of this presentation, general purpose is to inform the audience, and more specifically to provide unclassified information to the audience about the violent terrorist group known as FARC. The central ideas that this presentation is surrounded around are the synopsis, which is a broad overview of the terrorist group, weapon systems that they typically use within Colombia from this terrorist group, and also any significant events within the past decade or so. Going into the expert quote on the situation, this is coming from the Council of Foreign Affairs, pretty much stating the importance of South America and the rest of Latin America, and how it doesn't really directly tie to FARC, but FARC plays one of the biggest roles within the U.S. Latin American relations, because they are one of the biggest narcotics distributors coming from South America into North America. So Latin America has never mattered more for the United States. The region is the largest foreign supplier of oil to the United States and a strong partner in the development of alternative fuels. It is the United States' fastest growing trading partner, as well as its biggest supplier of legal drugs. Latin America is also the largest source of U.S. immigrants, both documented and not. All of this reinforces deep U.S. ties with the region, strategic, economic, and cultural, but also deep concerns. So that pretty much just goes to show the importance of Latin America and how FARC could actually affect U.S. relations within the area. Going into an orientation, FARC is located in South America, more specifically Colombia. Pretty much operate within about 70 to 80% of that territory. Its bordering countries, you have Panama to the north, which is one of the biggest drug trafficking routes coming from the Panama Canal into North America, so they play a big influence in that area. You have Venezuela to the east, and Brazil, and then to the south you have Peru and Ecuador. Going into a broad overview of who the FARC is, they're the oldest, largest, and most capable insurgency within Latin America. They were established in 1964 as a militant wing for the Colombian Communist Party, and they operate pretty autonomous, and they're responsible for bombings within Colombia, murder, mortar attacks, kidnapping, ID events, and they apply guerrilla-style warfare. Going into the weapon systems, they primarily use Soviet-style block weapons. The most predominant weapon systems, AK-47. Pretty much all their ground troops have access to that weapon system. They do have IEDs, however, they don't apply it in the same manner that the Middle Eastern insurgencies apply those weapon systems. Some of the significant events in the past decade, in May 2010, President Manuel Santos was elected, and he's led a fierce campaign in repelling FARC within Colombia. They've been somewhat successful, however, FARC still remains very capable and very willing to attack. And also, next big key event in 2002, FARC was responsible for kidnapping 3 U.S. American citizens. They held them in captivity for 6 years until the Colombian security forces were able to release them. That just goes to show you of their willingness and their capability of conducting targeting attacks on Americans. So the key takeaways for this presentation is FARC is the oldest, largest, and most capable